Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star 2 episode number 113 based on novel. So let's start. In Huyang City, Morosa also looked towards the capital of the Kingdom of Food from afar. Something is wrong. The life of this Dark Sky Lord does not conform to the direction of the world inside his body. Note, conform meaning comply with rules, standards, or laws. Another meaning, similar or same type. As a beast of the second level of the God King, Morosa has a certain perception of the abilities of the peak beasts. He can even breed a legion now, but he did not do so just to hide his identity. So when he looked at the figure of Lord Dark Sky, he noticed something was wrong, and immediately sent a message from his mind to Luo Feng. Master. Peak realm beasts can give birth to a powerful legion of destruction. He should be able to give birth to strong warriors more powerful than himself. The world beast is very balanced in all aspects. The legion of destruction is more inclined to fight. Morosa transmitted the message. The legion bred by the peak realm beast must first have a commander, who can be called the Emperor of Destruction. The Emperor of Destruction should have 18 generals and 36 commanders. The Emperor of Destruction is the most perfect ultimate warrior. In terms of life-saving, he is inferior to the realm beasts, but in terms of fighting, he is stronger than the realm beasts. I have a feeling that Lord Dark Sky's life is incomplete. The 6 lords merged into one, it should be the Destruction Emperor. Morosa transmitted the message. As a part of the Destruction Emperor, the life form of this Lord Dark Sky should be extremely strong. Master, you must be careful. Luo Feng heard Morosa's message. Good guy. The Liu Kingdom beast is too low-key, dividing the most terrifying leader of the Legion of Destruction into 6 lords. Luo He. Lord Antian looked at Luo Feng and said with a smile. Your talent is indeed amazing, but you can't threaten me with just one clone. Come on with all 5 of your clones. Previously, Lord Antian didn't think highly of the 4 second-level God Kings in this realm. Even Lord Antian ignores the Silver Moon God King whose strength is comparable to that of Lord Qiankun. Want 5 of them to come together? 5 silver-robed Luo Feng looked at him. No need. 1 silver-robed Luo Feng stood there, the silver robe spread quickly and turned into an endless silver river. The silver river is mighty and mighty. It swept through trillions of kilometers, enveloped the world, and trapped the Dark Sky Lord. Destroy. This silver-clad Luo Feng stood in the middle of the mighty river. The river trapped and eroded Lord Antian. The power of this erosion is obviously better than the previous immortal light of the mixed whole. The scales on the main body of Dark Sky Lord begin to tatter, revealing the inner layer of cyan flesh and blood. The flesh and blood are being eroded. This erosion power? Lord Antian was a little surprised. It has the charm of my path of destruction and is very destructive. The material that this river is made of is also terrifying. Every force is full of endless vitality, constantly eroding and wearing away my body. Luo Feng's current killing moves are Star Tower, Transcendent God King level will, 24-phase world life form, and mass extinction style. Previously, the immortal light in the mixed whole was a powerful move at the second level of the God King. Then using the corrosive tricks of the fleshly body at this moment can truly bring out the terrifying power of the fleshly body. What? Lord Dark Sky can be slightly injured? Is the river area of Luoha so corrosive? All parties in the origin continent were strong. The spectators watched the battle from a distance and were all surprised. This Antian Lord is inferior to me in terms of moves. But its physical body is still stronger than mine. Emperor Guishu looked at this scene. Brother Luo, his domain erosion can slightly injure Lord Antian, then if I encounter it, I'm afraid the injury will be more serious. What a terrifying field. God King Wuxin was also secretly shocked. With such powerful physical skills, I can only escape when faced with such skills on a very large area. No matter how powerful the body escape technique is, this domain covers a large area. Anyone who dares to fight Luo Feng at close range will be eroded by the domain. The power in this field made the strong men from all sides recognize Luo Feng's strength. Boom! And Tianzuan took the initiative. Despite the obstacles of the endless river, he was still extremely fast, breaking through all river obstacles and heading straight for Luo Feng's silver-clad Luo Feng clone. Destroy! As Lord Antian killed him, he already punched out the knife struck through. This punch affects the operation of the rules of heaven and earth, completely locking Luo Feng's clone. There is no way to hide, and the endless terrifying power is crushing him. Luo Feng's palm is like a knife, and with each strike, it is like a big sun appearing between heaven and earth. This round of big sun and that punch completely collided. Rumble tilde tilde. The power of the colliding terror swept across all directions, and also hit the Food King's capital not far away. Countless practitioners in the Food King's capital were horrified, feeling that death was coming. Wow tilde tilde. The Milky Way enveloped all directions, completely restraining the spread of power. Lord Dark Sky still stood there after the punch, with only a few scales on his fist broken. However, Luo Feng only stood up after flying upside down, and his right hand was already dripping with blood. My physical body is slightly inferior to his, and my skill level is also a bit worse. Luo Feng noticed the gap between himself and Tianzuan as soon as they fought. This is only 1% of the energy reserve of the world life form true body compared to Lord Antian. Still slightly inferior. Boom! Lord Dark Sky ran rampant in the mighty Silver River, chasing Luo Feng and killing him. Luo Feng used him as a whetstone, testing his own tricks again and again. Hierarchy of secret patterns, life, destruction, and the combination of birth and death. All have been understood. Although it is not as perfect as the Great Extinction style, it is still quite extraordinary. Now it has been verified in actual combat. Lord Dark Sky can be called favored child of the Tao of Destruction. Luo Feng continued to be beaten with various moves. The two sides fought for a while, exchanging hundreds of moves. This clone of Luo he is only slightly inferior to me in physical form. Lord Antian was shocked. And his vitality is even more terrifying than mine. Even after fighting until now, his divine power reserve has not even decreased. The energy reserves of both parties, nothing was wasted. This is the result of the physical body being too terrifying. I can't always help Lord Hansen to guard the territory. This Food Kingdom will eventually return to Luoha. Lord Antian understands this. However, we cannot let go of the power of my Destruction Legion. Lord Dark Sky's eyes turned cold, and a long stick appeared in his hand. It was an ultimate weapon of the God King. For Liu Kingdom, it is quite difficult to get secret treasures beyond God King level, but weapons and secret treasures at the ultimate level of God King can still be obtained. Each of the 6 great lords has a suitable ultimate weapon. Tear. After the long stick appeared in Lord Antian's hand, he swept his long stick, splitting the earth and heavens apart in an instant and causing a crack in the source world's membrane wall. The breadth of this fissure was approximately 1 finger, but this disparity continued all the way to the Luo Feng's avatar. The physical body of Luo Feng was ripped apart, leaving a massive wound. Ultimate Realm Technique. Luo Feng knew what had happened the instant he was struck. Lord Antian's own moves were slightly inferior, but with the help of God King's ultimate realm weapons, exploded with terrifying powers. His divine body resisted this blow, and the energy consumption was not that big. Lord Antian was shocked. This scene also frightened many powerful people in the Origin continent. This Luo, his physical body was quite powerful when he was in the first level of the God King. Now that he has reached the second level of the God King, his physical body is even more terrifying. Di Yang was secretly shocked. There are only a handful of people in Origin continent who can kill this Luo He. Di Qing, DG, might be able to completely destroy Luo He. Di Yang doesn't like this feeling, but the fact is that Luo He is just like this. He is difficult to deal with. There are many clones hiding in various places. It is too difficult to completely eliminate them. Okay. Di Chu looked very happy. My disciple is extremely talented. What he needs now is time. As long as he is given enough time to grow, I believe he should be able to compete head-on with the emperor in the future. Di Chu thought. His disciples, in addition to being rough-skinned and thick-bodied and able to resist, still a little immature in their moves. They haven't realized a single ultimate secret method, and they don't even have a powerful secret treasure. But just relying on such a tyrannical body, emperors and monarchs also need to fear Luo He. Lord Antian, I also have a weapon, please give it a try. Luo Feng stretched out his hand, and a blood shadow knife appeared in his hand. The blood shadow knife is the ultimate sword embryo of the God King. Luo Feng needs to imprint the secret patterns on the knife embryo himself. Originally, it was his plan that the secret patterns on the knife embryo should focus on the path of destruction. After all, the path of life and death is not a system for the time being. The path of destruction is guided by special inheritance. But after seeing the deep secret patterns in the Star Tower, Luo Feng changed his mind. The secret patterns inside the Star Tower are systematic and work together perfectly. Luo Feng understood it. The understandable secret patterns of life and destruction began to be integrated into the blood shadow knife. The blood shadow knife can be said to be a super simplified version of the Star Tower, and it mainly focuses on the secret patterns of life and destruction, and they cooperate with each other. Buzz. Luo Feng held the blood shadow knife, and the light of the blood shadow knife was terrifying. Cut. The secret pattern inside the sword is engraved by himself, so it is naturally very easy to drive, and it can perfectly display the power of the blood shadow sword. This sword reached in front of Lord Antian in an instant. Lord Antian also didn't bother to dodge, and swept out the stick. The blade collided with the long stick. Boom! Lord Antian was shocked to feel that the weight of this sword was even stronger. On top of his stick skills, his root method contains many characteristics of the path of destruction, but Luo Feng's sword, the only characteristic is heavy. Extremely heavy. Lord Dark Sky's strong body withstood it. Both sides did not move in mid-air. This attack was evenly matched. The ultimate weapon of the God King, can you still control it? Lord Antian looked at Luo Feng. I admire it, admire it. If you get an ultimate weapon of the God King, you need to study the secret treasure of the weapon and use it to its full potential. It's not easy to use the ultimate weapon discharging move. My sword skills rely on weight to win, but I can't force Lord Antian to take a step back. I'm still a bit weaker. Luo Feng looked at him. You won. Lord Antian glanced at Luo Feng coldly. This is just a clone of you. Facing a clone with no advantage, Lord Antian knew very well that he had lost. Immediately, he took a step and left through the void, returning to the Liu Kingdom. Gone. At this moment, the powerful people from all sides in the entire Origin continent who watched this battle truly realized how terrifying the Luo God King is. Compared with the Guishu Emperor and the Wuxin God King, his intimidating power is even more terrifying. Perhaps after the Wind City Empress, the Mother River Lord, and the other 5, it will be Luo his turn. Luo he might be able to compete with Pu Xin, the boatmaster of the time-space lonely boat, and the Yu Fu God King. As Lord Dark Sky left, only Luo Feng's 5 clones remained above the capital of the Kingdom of Food. No one is coming to fight. Luo Feng's world power covered the entire territory of the Kingdom of Food, and no other strong men were found to have infiltrated. The strength shown this time is just right. It's not as strong as that of the Earth God King and the Lord of the Mother River, but the emperors and monarchs have to think carefully if they want to deal with me. Luo Feng thought. If Luo Feng had the ultimate will of the God King and controlling the 5 clones of the 24 phase forms, such an explosion of strength would already be the limit. Then he would indeed be unable to compete with emperors and monarchs. It's time to take over the entire food country. Luo Feng also knew that taking over and managing such a huge territory was not an easy task. Fortunately, the Daohe sect had trained a large number of disciples over the years. Now, these disciples are needed to manage the huge territory. Luo Feng's 5 clones also disappeared. Chu Yuho held a grand banquet, and many princes, guests, and disciples of the God King from the Chu lineage came to attend. Brother Luo, he is my brother of life and death. Chu Yuho sat high on the throne, holding a wine glass, and said with emotion, he and I started together at the end of our lives. At that time in Huyang City, I was still the eternal true God. He was also the eternal true God. Later, we both came to Chudu together, and my first guest was Brother Luo he. Chu Yuho boasted. The surrounding princes, guests, and disciples of the God King are all complimenting him. This is fate. God King Luoha is really amazing. At first he was the absolute number one in the Chaos realm. Later he became the strongest God King who is invincible in the first level. Now his clone is enough to rival the Lord and Tien from the Legion of Destruction. Such talent is truly something we are envious of. The Chaos realm people present, whether they were royal princes or guests, were all extremely envious. Maybe some powerful God Kings from the royal family can still maintain their arrogance in front of Luo Feng. But these royal princes have no arrogance at all, and they absolutely look up to them. After all, the current God King of Luoha is only one step away from the emperors and monarchs. Of course, this step is also a step like a chasm. Brother Luo he is Brother Luo he, and I am me. Chu Yuho sighed. I can't even understand the branches of the great Tao, and full of endless confusion. Brother Chu Yu's cultivation time is still short. I believe he will become a God King in the future. Guests praised him one by one. Today's Chu Yuho is famous among the many princes in the entire 13th lineages of the royal family. After all, he has a good brother, God King Luoha, and even some ordinary God Kings in the royal family dare not neglect him. The powerful God Kings in the royal family are arrogant, but ordinary God Kings who have been trapped in the first level of the God King for a long time, and there is no one in the royal family who attaches great importance to these ordinary God Kings. Because of that they are given less resources. These ordinary God Kings naturally wants to make friends with Luo he. God King, Di Chi Yu is currently entertaining guests. This time, Luo his clone could match the Lord Dark Sky, one of the 6 lords of the Destruction Legion, which brought Di Chi Yu a lot of benefits. A tall and thin old man said. Speaking of which, God King, you and Luo he are also friends. You also helped Luo he to get a guest official spot. Di Chu Ying smiled. Giving Luo he a guest official spot was the decision that Chu Yinghu felt was the most wonderful decision. Luo Feng therefore owed King Chu Ying a great favor. The stronger Luo Feng is, the higher the value of this favor. With Brother Luo his growth rate, he may be able to reach even a higher level in the future. God King Chu Ying said. He knew that it took a very long time to become a God King, and after that it would only be more difficult in the future. So we need help. The royal family has strict internal rules, and each God King has a corresponding quota of resources. As for the 13 emperors, except for Di Qing, the other emperors all owe the royal family huge amounts of wealth. It is impossible to help Di Chu Ying too much. This favor must always be kept. The longer it is, the better. King Chu Ying is also patient. He is naturally using the resources of the royal family to improve himself as much as possible. When there is no way forward and you are completely stuck at the bottleneck, then seek external help. Liu City, inside the palace. God King Liu Yu was the only one among the 5 God Kings of the Shi Kingdom who did not escape. She waited with some uneasiness. Huh? God King Liu Yu suddenly saw invisible forces gathering together, forming the figure of Luo he, who was looking at her calmly. Now that the entire food country is enveloped by the power of the world, Luo Feng can naturally condense the incarnation with just one thought. Liu Yu pays homage to God King Luoha. God King Liu Yu saluted with great respect. The God King of Skull Peak moved his tribe and fled. But you stayed here and didn't leave. Luo Feng looked at her. God King Liu Yu said helplessly, my ethnic group has been reproducing for a long time, and it is too difficult to take root in this land. It was for this reason that I joined the Food Kingdom with my whole country. This time, I also hope that God King Luoha will take her in. I am willing to work for Luoha. God King Liu Yu is at your service. Luo Feng knew very well that the ethnic group of God King Liu has a long history which is comparable to that of teachers Washanku's Jin Kingdom. In addition to being spread across many large cities, the large ethnic group even lives in many wilderness tribes. If they are cruel people, just move the elite of the ethnic group away. But God King Liu cares about the entire ethnic group. Whether she chose to join the Food Nation in the first place or whether she wants to serve Luo Feng now, it was all because of his ethnic group. Okay, but your fiefdom only has 5 chaos states. Luo Feng looked at her. Luo Feng himself has many clones, and the power of the world can even cover the entire territory with a single thought. Whether there is a God King or not isn't important to Luo Feng. God King Liu was slightly startled and responded respectfully, "Yes, I am willing to reduce the fiefdom to 5 chaos states, but I hope that countless creatures in the original Liu Kingdom can be exempted from large-scale capture. I am not like Lord Qiankun who needs to eat countless creatures." Luo Feng looked at her and said, "In all the territories under my command, it is forbidden to capture countless creatures on a large scale. Practitioners fight and kill normally. Even if some wilderness tribes were exterminated, Luo Feng wouldn't care. But being like Lord Qiankun, who regularly captures trillions of creatures for food, Luo Feng naturally strictly prohibited it. God King Luo, he is kind." God King Liu was overjoyed. "You cooperate with Yuan, Luosa, and Xinyu to take over the entire Food Kingdom territory." Luo Feng waved his hand and 20 names appeared in front of him. These 20 people from the Chaos Realm can continue to rule under Yuan if they wish. All other Chaos Realms must be expelled from Shugua. Luo Feng reviewed the Chaos Realms of the Food Kingdom and felt that only 20 of them could be recruited. In other realms of chaos, they have followed the 3 kings of the Food Kingdom for a long time, and their behavior styles are similar. Luo Feng knew that they were also following orders, but he still didn't bother to accept them. "Yes." God King Liu respectfully responded. Taking over the entire Food Country territory involves all aspects. The handover of various cities, various assets, some places where the treasures of the world are nurtured, many minerals in the wilderness, some weapon refining, medicine refining, and other industrial chains. The handover involves too much. The entire reception was handled by Yuan and Morosa, with second disciples Xinyu and God King Liu as assistants. A large number of disciples from Daohe sect are responsible for this. At the same time, Luo Feng's world power enveloped the entire territory and helped them complete the reception. Because of the power of the world, all the actions of the large and small forces in the territory cannot be hidden from Luo Feng. At the beginning, there were some greedy people who wanted to take away a large amount of treasure resources, but Luo Feng severely punished them. After killing 3 people in the Chaos Realm, they suddenly became much better behaved. Of course, Luo Feng only destroyed the true form of the Chaos Realm, took away all its treasures, and expelled it from the realm, but did not completely kill it. But such punishment still frightened the large and small forces within the territory, and also made the subsequent reception much smoother. "Master, the reception is basically completed, but there is still a lot of loss during the handover process." Morosa reported respectfully. "Loss?" Luo Feng looked at him. "Those from the Chaos Realm were expelled, and they also took their families and the backbone of their subordinates with them," Morosa reported. "Their family used to be responsible for many industries. Suddenly they lost so many backbones. Because of that, many industries are no longer able to operate. This is an unavoidable loss." Luo Feng nodded. In the past, many elites in the city were direct subordinates of the Chaos Realm, or even family members. Now that they are all expelled, the impact is indeed huge. "The impact is temporary," Luo Feng said. "After the reception is settled, you and Yuan will discuss and prepare for the Daohe sect's next large-scale recruitment of disciples. This time the scale will be at least 10 times that of the past." "It's so big scale?" Morosa's eyes lit up. Countless people in the 135 chaos states in the Food Kingdom have suffered a lot over the years. This large-scale recruitment of disciples can be regarded as a great opportunity for the practitioners," Luo Feng said. Morosa nodded. While the master and servant were chatting, they suddenly turned their heads and looked in the direction of the Daohe sect's headquarters. "Xingyang has made a breakthrough?" Morosa looked surprised. He actually broke through, faster than I expected. Luo Feng also smiled. Dao sect, in quiet room of the cave of Liu Qingyang. Liu Qingyang has always been eager to make a breakthrough. He has followed Luo Feng since he first came to Origin Continent and has been carefully taught by Morosa, and later also received guidance from Yuan. As Luo Feng's status became higher and higher, as the only direct disciple, he also had the best resources. Even Morosa secretly gave some of the resources he could get to Liu Qingyang. Junior brother Xin Yu broke through and became the realm of chaos. Master also accepted a group of registered disciples. Many of their talents are better than mine. As the senior brother of the entire Dao sect, the pressure is naturally very high. The only thing he can do is to be more attentive. Ask Yuan for advice. Ask second master Morosa for advice. He even shamelessly asked his master Luo He for advice. The master rarely gave him guidance, but every time he did, Mo Yuqing would study what the master said word by word after returning home, thinking about it hundreds of times. Me? Mo Yuqing felt the transformation of the blood in his body. Although he didn't fully understand it at this moment, he was still able to control the laws of chaos. I have made a breakthrough, my bloodline has transformed. Mo Yuqing said excitedly with tears in his eyes. Finally, there was a breakthrough. The second person among Master's disciples to reach the realm of chaos. Although it is just the bloodline path that has become a realm of chaos. This video will end here.